Hey everyone, this is Joel.
And Noah from the Wealth is Health podcast.
This podcast is a conversation of our journey to financial health.
We think working till 65 just ain't it, and just like you, we're trying to make sure that never happens.
And if you're interested in letting us know what you're trying to do to achieve financial health and want to join us in our journeys, join the discussion on our Facebook at the Wealth is Health podcast.
Let's tap in.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Wealth is Health podcast. We have Josh back again. Josh, the crypto lord.
Yes, sir.
And this time we're going to be talking about everything crypto. So last video was about NFTs, and this video is going to focus on crypto. So he's going to kind of fill us in on what he knows and how he's making money, what he's invested in. And he can plug himself again, a little shameless plug.
Oh yeah, NubDubCrypto.
Yes, sir.
I tweet out a lot of the things that I'm buying. You know, I interact with a lot of people. Some of the best investments I've ever ran into are on Twitter. So if you're into crypto, get on the crypto Twitter for sure, 100%.
What you gonna say?
And the Discords, right? Oh, what I was gonna say was, tell me why Joel came to the pod.
Hey.
See, y'all already know where I'm going with it. This man came
what?
through with his video production brand hoodie on. That's crazy. Talking about shameless plug, bro. Where's our Wealth is Health gear, bro?
No, I always say it's always slick.
So I've been. That's a good question, but I've been refining the process because this logo actually is a little bit messed up. So I've been refining the process, and I've figured out a good way to make it. But the studio that I used to make it is closed down for break, so I can't make anything. But it's
I heard
coming
you're
soon.
giving me a free hoodie.
Oh,
Yes,
Is that what I heard?
Free merch.
if you give me like one ETH, let me get like one ETH.
Whoa, chill.
Whoa.
Let me hold an NFT.
Oh man, don't get me going on NFTs again because I will talk about them for hours.
No, absolutely not.
I'm gonna start running my own brand
That
on
was
the pod,
last
yo.
Bro, yeah.
No, for real.
JRJ Imaging is gonna blow up in 2022. I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you. But that's quiet things. All right, Josh, you want to start us off with something?
I mean,
Like I
That's
honestly,
how you want to start it off.
yeah,
Can we do like
I mean,
a little crypto intro? Like
There
let's
we
talk
go.
about like the main ones like what is Bitcoin? What is it Bitcoin?
yeah. I mean, Bitcoin is digital gold. Is basically a lot of people disagree with that, but I like to think of it as digital gold. You know what I mean? It's just I simply think of it as a crypto with a set supply. There will never be more than that exact number that there is in the market. It's not exactly a deflationary token, but it almost is in a sense of like there's a set supply and a lot gets lost on the market. So like there's a lot of people who've lost like, 200 million plus USD value worth of Bitcoin. So it's kind of deflationary in a sense. So it's a deflationary asset in a way. And I do think that it will have a huge place in this, technology world that we're heading towards. And I don't know how else better to explain it than digital gold, really. Like, how else would you explain Bitcoin? Like,
no, that seems pretty.
I feel like that's a pretty solid way of
Store of
explaining it.
value.
Yeah, it's a store
Really.
of value, exactly.
yeah.
And like you're saying about like the supply and demand versus like, because people, I feel like they think about like the crypto projects that are attempting to be like crypto money per se as kind of just like fake money, because it's kind of just being like created out of nowhere in a sense.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny on Twitter. People think that it's really, really fake in the sense like, oh, you have $200 million worth of like Bitcoin or something. That's not real. Like, they don't think that you could just like put it on an exchange and sell it. Like, people don't understand that. Like, basically, you could sell any crypto that has a USD value into a stable coin like USD, and you could literally send that to your bank after you sell it for regular USD. Because there's stable coins that are basically just the dollar on the crypto network, whatever, on the blockchain. And then you could sell those for regular USD, and then you could send that to your bank account. Like, it's all real money, but a lot of people seem to think it's not, which is, I get it when you don't understand like what crypto is and stuff like that. It's a weird world. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't knock them for thinking that at all.
So I was gonna say real quick, Dan, this is something where I wish I kind of had like more time to like flesh out this idea of like what I'm really trying to say. But my point, like with the whole thing about people feeling like it's fake money, it's like nothing really has true value. It only has the value that we are like assigning to it. So for example, even with like the US dollar, like at one point there was something actually backing it, like it was backed by gold, right? Now it's no longer backed by gold. So people can just print money just out of nowhere, and there's nothing really backing it. There's no set kind of like supply or whatever. We can just print more because it's like, all right, I feel like we need it.
It's a very inflationary asset type thing. Yeah, it's crazy. Just more goes in the market, more and more and more, and then the value of it goes down because there's just so much of it on the market. And you guys can see that with the inflation rates that have been going up like crazy. It's kind of nuts.
Exactly.
They just keep printing.
Right. So as more, go ahead.
The money, the what's it called? The free money that everyone got. What's the word I'm looking for?
Oh, the stimmies.
All the stimmies and all that stuff.
The stimmies.
You know what I mean? Things look bad. Let's print more money. There's going to be repercussions for that stuff. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, and it's not to say that like people should or should not have decided to print more money or whatever, but the point is more so just like you said, like there are consequences that are going to come with that. So it's not being backed by anything, and we're just printing more. Simple supply and demand. Like now, the value of each dollar is going to be able to purchase you less over time. Like you're losing purchasing power. So think about, for example, like what people were paying, like to fill their tank with gas back in the day, like our parents when they were our age, versus like what people are paying now. Like there's a dramatic difference there.
Yeah, even like grocery shopping, dude. I'm paying way more for the same groceries that I buy, dude. It's crazy. Like,
exactly.
I can literally see the difference.
And we see that same thing when it comes to even just like asset prices, like the stock market and real estate prices and stuff like that. Like why they've been going so high. Like people, we have more money, bro. The value of a dollar is not in the same anymore.
It's just so cheap to borrow.
Yeah, that's another thing too. When interest rates are low, and they do that on purpose to kind of like stimulate the economy. Economy.
That's
and all that.
true.
But my point for bringing that up was Bitcoin is like the exact opposite because it has like that set supply. Like there's never going to be like more than whatever it is, like 21 million.
And that's
and people
why
have already like lost some, like they lost their wallets and all that. It can't redeem. Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing that people don't think about. It like adds a deflationary aspect to it. Like I think the Ripple, XRP, Ripple, one of the owners lost 7,000 Bitcoins. That's a lot of money, like off, you know what I mean? And that's just one person. There's so many people out there that have lost lots, like millions and millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin.
Wait, can you explain that? Like, I don't mean to cut you off, but can you explain then what Bitcoin mining is? Because people might think if it's
this man has been
about mining because if it's finite, right? Then people might be saying like, well, then what are you mining for? If you got all these rigs set up and you're mining for Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know what's going to happen when like all the Bitcoins are mined. Like that's a question that I haven't really researched enough. But as far as like what is like mining Bitcoin, it's literally you just using all the energy and resources on your end to use the electricity and mine the Bitcoin really, and then put it on the network and stuff like that. I don't know how to explain validators, delegators, and all that other stuff. That it gets really complex. You know what I mean? I just know roughly like I use a bunch of like GPUs and electricity and power, right? And I mine a Bitcoin. You know what I mean? I don't understand it because I don't mine it myself, so really can't explain that in detail, to be honest with you.
So I think also the disconnect is like we're saying that there's only going to be like 21 million, but they're not all like they haven't all been mined yet. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Eventually they will. I think within the next decade.
That's more what I want to get
within
at.
the next.
I
don't know what's going to happen.
There's a date set, I believe. Well, a year set. I'm not going to say it because I'd rather look it up first before I say anything.
Oh, okay.
Kill me in the comments. But so I think there was one more thing I wanted to say about that real quick. So about value. So like technically, like nobody really has to care if there's like a set supply, like if there's 21 million or whatever. So people do like to use that as a value proposition for it. But at the same time, nobody has to care. It has to be what they call like a shared myth. Like we all have to believe that this thing has value. So we have to kind of feel like that kind of scarcity mindset towards it. And it's the same thing like with the US dollar. Like the first time like someone had any sort of like paper money or whatever, like nobody really had to care. But if everyone decides collectively like, oh, we're all going to value this piece of paper and say that it can like it deserves to really be some sort of instrument so I can exchange like my time and energy for this new product or whatever. If I have this piece of paper, that's when it starts to have value. So if you see like it's becoming more mainstream, more popular, or whatever, this idea, then it's going to continue to raise in value. But if not, then it's not. Yeah. So that's kind of the interesting thing.
Space,
but that happens with everything. You know what I mean? So when things are like the crypto projects that aren't like Bitcoin specifically, like we call those altcoins, correct? right?
Yes. Yep.
Do you want to go into like some of the altcoins, some of the bigger
What's that
ones and
guy,
what they do?
Peter? Who's that Bitcoin maxi? He calls every single other coin a SHIT coin. I don't know if it can't swear in here or not, but he calls every single other coin that's not Bitcoin, a crap coin. Like it just doesn't matter, basically. So there's these Bitcoin maxis out there that just think that every single thing on the market is just like all hype, BS, and not important, won't matter, and will all go to zero eventually.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Peter McCormick or what's his name? I don't remember.
No, I think that's it.
But
yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, there's
His
a lot of
podcast is
people
what,
that feel that
what
way.
Bitcoin did, I believe.
Okay.
Trying to make notes.
So yeah, all the other coins in the market are altcoins, and Ethereum is obviously number 2. So I'll just talk about that one.
Mm-hmm.
So
is Ethereum an altcoin? If it's not Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Absolutely.
So everything's not Bitcoin.
Anything that's not Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
But there's maxis for every project. Like you're gonna have ETH maxis,
Yes.
you're gonna have Solana maxis.
Even like the small coins that like
Mm-hmm.
barely have a market cap that are very volatile, like there's some very strong believers in them, and they go up really fast, they go down really fast. You know what I mean? But those are small market cap. We'll talk about those.
Mm-hmm.
But Ethereum, anyways. So it's super different from Bitcoin because it actually has like a more of a use case. You know what I mean? Like obviously Bitcoin's like use is to store value and things like that. But Ethereum is, I kind of think of it as the app store. I think I explained that on the podcast last time because it uses smart contracts. So if you want to build a product on the blockchain, you will be using Ethereum or the ERC20 contract. And the only bad thing about Ethereum is that it has like really high fees, which will eventually be fixed. But what the high fees do now,
but go ahead.
Yeah, what the high fees do now, they're kind of important because it adds a deflationary aspect to it. They burn so much money, like millions and millions of dollars in Ethereum has been burned because obviously more is getting mined and being put onto the circulating supply or whatever. So it helps the overall value of it. But as like a user, it definitely sucks, to be honest with you, because Ethereum is so big. It's the second market cap, obviously, and so many projects are being built on it that the network gets congested sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And the gas fees, I've paid $500, $600, $700 for a fee.
That's ridiculous.
That I literally just lose, like completely lose. Like, it's gone.
Anytime you're like placing a transaction, basically, like you're paying that type of fee.
Yeah, and like NFTs, I've seen gas fees as high as 1 to 2 to 3 Ethereum or higher.
That's
like
insane.
you're paying like $16,000 for a transaction to go through. Like really think about that, right? So it's definitely a huge problem. And then that's why there's so many other altcoins like Ethereum that are also smart contracts that you can build on that have different fees and things like that. And they have a place in the market, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like a lot of people.
Before you go in depth about like the other ones,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know if you're about to do that right now, but if not, I do want to kind of go in depth about the Ethereum fee situation.
Wait, real quick,
let's
before
talk
you
about
do
it.
that,
Let's
can
talk
you just
about it.
explain what a smart contract is?
It basically just think of it as like, this is what I'm building my application on.
Okay.
That's the smart contract. That's literally it. That's all you got to know about it, really. So that's what Ethereum uses, the smart contract. So like for ADA, for example, they just recently got smart contracts where you finally could build products on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
like, like swaps and stuff like that, like Pancake Swap for like BNB and things like that. I don't know if you know.
No
but
idea. Okay.
Basically, if you want to swap one coin for another, that's on
like
the same
exchange
blockchain.
different types of coins and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like a website
Like
you
currency
go on
exchange,
to like swap
currency
coin
exchange.
for coin.
Okay. And you can only do that if they're
Yep.
based on the same like major thing. Like if it's Ethereum, you can swap out whatever's
Correct.
based on the thing.
It's on the Ethereum chain. Yep.
Okay.
And like they just got the first one on ADA, for example. Like
Yeah.
they just got smart contracts. Like it took them years to actually like
Years.
release that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It took them a very long time.
Okay.
So another thing about smart contracts, like people like to like say this idea that basically it allows you to kind of like cut out the middleman in a way because I think it's like artificial intelligence that's like truly executing like the contract for you, so you don't necessarily need to go talk to like a lawyer and all these other like people in order to like have a certain agreement with someone. So kind of like anyone could just go ahead and like develop a certain application and put it on like a particular blockchain or whatever. I think that might kind of help people understand it. Whereas like when it comes to other things, like sometimes you have to get like permission from all of these people in order to actually like produce something. So like a lot of crypto products in general are big on like just giving the people the ownership. Like we don't really have to follow like the system's rules and all all that.
Yeah, it's
So,
where DeFi and like decentralization kind of comes into, right?
Mhm.
Like they want to be able to just like use something and not have to go through 10 people to like, get permission to do a application or something like that, And that's where all these projects and altcoins come from. There's usually people building them on, like Ethereum or something like that, for example. And then you could go and buy the coin, and if you believe in it, blah blah blah, and all that kind of stuff. So, and then it was the gas fees you want to talk about, right?
Yeah. So I was gonna say about the gas fees, because basically when you're like using like certain blockchains, like you're essentially paying for like block space. So a blockchain is kind of like would you say it's like how would you say it? Like it's like a record keeping like system, right? In a way.
Yeah, blockchain.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really all it is. It's just storing information, really.
Yeah. So when you're making transactions, you're essentially like competing for like block space, like space on like this particular blockchain or whatever. So the problem with Ethereum, and this is something that Andre Jake or whatever, however you pronounce it. Yeah. however,
yeah, he's awesome.
However you say
little
it.
magician.
But he was saying like the issue is like a lot of these like smart contract platforms will like be released or whatever, and when no one's using it, it's completely fine because you're not really competing for block space with all these other people. Whereas when a product starts getting bigger, the fees will typically start like getting larger because you have to compete with more people in order to actually use it. But Ethereum is working on fixing it through certain things like layer 2 protocols. So I'm not going to go super in depth about that because I don't 100% understand it yet. I'm not sure if you can speak on it a little bit more, Josh.
Yeah, I can touch on that slightly.
Okay.
I love layer 2s. No gas fees on Ethereum. It's amazing. It's so good. Yeah.
Is that what that is?
So, what a layer 2? A layer 2 is literally just like something built on the layer 1 that,
The layer 1 is Ethereum.
I was going to say, I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
Layer 1 is
sorry.
Ethereum.
See, like I'm so bad at this because like I'll say things and not like explain it. My bad. But yeah, like my favorite one for Ethereum, it's this thing called Arbitrum. It's literally just a layer 2. It's just built on the layer 1, which is Ethereum, right?
Yeah.
And it basically just solves the issue for the gas fees. You know what I mean? So it's like it's all the same stuff that Ethereum has. It's just like a gasless experience, and it's amazing. It's really good. And like the only gas fee you have to pay is to get it onto the layer 2. Which so like I'll pay like my $50 or $100 to save thousands of dollars in fees if I'm doing a bunch of transactions. So yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, so the way that I've kind of heard it explained, I'm going to keep it kind of elementary because, like I said, I don't 100% understand it. And I feel like
you're explaining
it
great.
Thank you.
You really are.
I understand a lot of these projects more like conceptually, but I feel like it's good to have people like Josh on the podcast because you actually use these things. I just like read about them and listen to podcasts. So I have a certain understanding, but it's not like experiential knowledge. But so from my understanding, the way that or at least some of them will work, like, so they're called like rollups, I guess. So when you're competing for block space, like the layer 2s will make it easier because it will roll up like a bunch of different people's transactions on like the layer 2 blockchain. So like they're running parallel or whatever. So if this is layer 1, like this would be layer 2 over here, right? So it's rolling up a bunch of different people's blockchains together. And then once it goes to execute the transaction, that's when it will go back and like touch the layer 1 real quick. So all these different people are splitting the transaction costs together versus each individual like actually paying the full fee. So I think that's how they're actually able to do it. And then also, why is you all smiling like
good,
that?
bro? That sounded good. I was like experiential knowledge.
You explained it better
I was
than
gonna
I
say
would
you
have
had
been
no
able to,
experiential knowledge, but wow, like that to me, I was like, oh, that makes sense. Your batch.
You know what's funny about me is I have such great experience, but I'm so bad at explaining like almost anything. Like I could not have done that. Like,
It's tough.
We still appreciate you
But
here, and it's a
Like
complicated.
I'll use
topic.
it mindlessly. Like I won't be thinking about the tech a lot. Do you know what I'm trying to
No,
say? Like I
I
won't
know
be thinking
exactly what you're
about
talking
what happens behind the scenes, what I'm using. So like,
no, but that's why it's good for us
Perfect.
to connect because
Yeah.
I feel like we can learn so much from each
Yeah.
other. And I want to get more into
Yeah,
like the
dude.
experiential part of it. But yeah, so then also like Ethereum 2 or E 2.0 or whatever. I think they actually changed the name or something like that. But that's also supposed to help with the gas fees. I'm not sure if you're able to speak on that a little bit.
I don't really know enough about it, but I do know it's supposed to come out in 2022. So we'll see if that actually ends up happening.
Yeah. So I'll speak on it a little bit, but I truly do not understand it yet. But and there are some people that kind of combat it, and they're like, I don't know if we really need it because like we have layer 2s anyways that kind of like fulfill the function of it. But
yeah.
So I guess like part of it is they're moving from what is it like proof of work to proof of stake?
Proof of stake, yeah, which I can't explain enough. I really can't. Nope.
We'll link some videos in the description that can kind of explain it better than we can. But yeah, apparently it's just like it's more energy efficient, right?
No idea.
Okay.
I really don't know. Being honest, I haven't looked into the new Ethereum update. I haven't like looked into that stuff at all.
But essentially, the point is, it is supposed to make it a lot faster and a lot cheaper to use as well. So we'll just kind of leave it there. That's the purpose of it. So
because the gas fees is a huge issue. Imagine trying to onboard like the masses, right? If I walked up to my friend and be like, "Hey, like, do you want to go buy like an NFT, right?" And they're like, "Okay, yeah, sure, that sounds cool." And then they're like, "Oh, $150 for this fee, dude? Like, that's like hours worth of work. Like, if you're working like a normal 9 to 5, right? Like, you have to work for hours to get $150. It's gone in a fee just to like swap something.
Yo, Joe.
That's terrible. That's terrible, dude.
No, that is terrible.
So, yeah,
You're right.
fees,
that is terrible.
How am I going to onboard the masses or like more people? You know, how can I convince them to spend like hundreds of dollars on fees?
And that's the same
It's
question
like,
that these people who are making these NFTs probably have too, then, right? So I'm sure they're all gung ho about like removing these gas fees
or lowering them. Like
lowering
you're gonna
them
have
at
to,
least.
like you still have to pay for decentralization. So like you're gonna have to pay in some form, but it doesn't have to be like such a high fee.
Yeah,
Or do you think
they'll
don't
release in like other blockchains and stuff too. But the problem is that Ethereum is the biggest, most respected, and like even when you have like a good project on another blockchain, people just don't care about it enough because it's not on Ethereum. That's seriously how the NFT market is. So it's like it's kind of nuts, but people will do whatever to pay those fees.
Wow.
They want it to be on Ethereum.
Yep.
Ethereum's the OG. They're the most trusted. Everyone wants it to be on Ethereum. It's just really how it is. Everyone wants their NFT to be valued in Ethereum because it's the second biggest market cap. People want that. You know what I mean? They want it to be valued in Ethereum. They don't want it to be valued in anything else.
Yeah.
That's just.
Do you mind actually like going on like CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap so people can actually see like how big these projects really are, like how big their market cap is?
Yeah.
And then we can talk about like what are some competitors to Ethereum as well after
that. Can you see it?
Yeah,
I see the
it,
Riverside thing. Okay. Yeah, I have the Ethereum pulled up already. So what do you want me to go over?
Just like the different market caps, like for Bitcoin and Ethereum, for example, just so people understand like how big these projects
Yeah,
really
so
are.
this is called coinmarketcap.com, which everyone uses this or a website called CoinGecko. If you want to look at like the circulating supply and things like that, they're not completely accurate. I won't get too into detail, but you can go on like etherscan.com, which is way more accurate. So you would use this to double check all of the information that's on these websites because they are frequently inaccurate. Just wanted to say that. But yeah, so the market cap of this is, I just don't even know how, what is that, 454 billion, right?
I just don't, that's funny. I can't say that.
That is a huge number.
I'm not reading that whole thing out. What is that, 454 billion, right?
I believe so, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I ain't going to embarrass myself trying to pronounce that whole ass thing, but anyways, yeah, so if you wanted to see, like, if you were buying, like, another project or if you wanted to compare this to the top market cap, you would literally just go to the top tab up here, cryptocurrencies, go to the ranking, and it will give you the
see
top
what Bitcoin
10.
is a market cap-wise.
I don't know why it's not loading. Like, see how it's, like, not showing anything right here? I guess I'll go on CoinGecko. Looks like that's bugging right now.
Does that happen often?
Yeah, honestly, this website has a lot of issues. CoinMarketCap, it has a lot of issues. It really does. I've like been using it and it would crash and stuff like that. So
wait, Josh, do you have
all right, here we go.
WhatsApp on your desktop?
I do not. Nope.
Dang, I just
I
sent you
just
something.
DeFi Pulse. I could pull it up.
So, well, sorry, that wasn't supposed to be something that we're gonna talk about right now, but this is like DeFi is gonna be something to talk about during this episode.
Cool. Let's do it up.
Cool.
So yeah, like a 900 billion, right? 900 billion market
Yo,
cap.
we can't.
Oh, it's
can
not
you
showing
see?
us. No.
I think you might. Did you
I'm not
share
sure
a
if you're
screen?
only screen. Yeah, you might only be sharing one of your screens or something like that, like a certain tab.
Yes, sir. Let me see. So I click share. I'll just do the whole.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I
You
usually
about to see something crazy or?
I mean,
Nah.
you can edit it
You're
out.
good.
Right?
Yeah.
So am I just sharing the Riverside tab now?
Oh yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah, we see it all.
Wait, did that work?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you were
nah.
sharing everything, and then you
Okay,
went out
cool.
of it.
I thought I was only sharing the Riverside
Oh
tab.
no,
You can see
we
this
can
now?
see everything. Yeah, we can see
All right,
everything.
cool.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So, yeah, you cool,
Wow.
right?
yeah, I was looking at the market cap.
I know, same with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously Bitcoin's at $47,000, and going off what
Lord.
he was saying earlier about like how this would have no value if nobody cared and nobody believed in it.
Mhm.
I mean that's a big number. So like one of these Bitcoins, like a full one, is worth 47,000. So if you consider that with the supply and things like that, it starts to make sense. Kind of where we're heading and things like that. So if you hopped on CoinGecko and you wanted to like be up to date with like how much was left, I think on CoinMarketCap it shows it better, but you can actually see how much like has been mined
Mhm.
of Bitcoin. If I could get this website to work, it'd be awesome. There's like right here. I think this is this little gray bar, I believe. Or never mind. I actually don't know, but there is somewhere on here where you could actually see how much has been mined, but I don't want to point out the wrong thing. But anyways, what did I want to go over for this? You just wanted me to talk about Bitcoin, how you could see like the market
Yeah,
cap,
I just wanted to show the market cap.
trading volume.
We might do another video later where we'll kind of go in depth of how to use these different like websites and the type of information that people can gather from them. But yeah, just so they could see the market cap, so they understand like we're not just talking about these tiny little things that like no one cares about. Like there's
that's
big
insane.
money.
You can compare the top market cap from these. So so just between Bitcoin and Ethereum, I mean, you're talking about a lot of money right there. So.
Yes, that's a huge amount of money.
Can you explain Ethereum Classic and Ethereum now? Like what the difference is? Is that all under the same category for market cap?
Ethereum Classic is not used anymore. It was the old fork of it. I
think we talked about it last
explaining
time.
it, but
We
did. It got hacked and nobody uses it. This is the new Ethereum. This is what matters. Ethereum Classic is not used at all for anything. What's funny is that it actually did pump a lot last bull run. So like people were just buying it like because it is on a lot of exchanges. I don't know why. Like nobody uses it. So, but yeah, it is there. It is there. Don't even worry about it though. Like just worry about Ethereum. That's what I tell people.
Yep. And then also, so real quick, because some people will get like intimidated when they see like certain things like the price of Bitcoin specifically. But I feel like in these other projects, so they're not going to want to invest in them. They want to go for something that's only like $1 or something, right? In terms of price. But it's not about price. It's about value.
Yeah. This is a perfect example for Dogecoin, right? It's literally like a copy of Bitcoin, but because the tokenomics are so different, the price is 17 to 18 cents. That right there explains it perfectly because Dogecoin is literally uses all the like code and everything from Bitcoin, but the tokenomics are not the same. It does not have a set supply. It has an infinite supply, and so much of it is mined every single year. And that's why like tokenomics is so important. I actually can't even believe it almost hit $1, which is insane. But a lot of people will look at this and be like, "Oh, it's like 18 cents. I get 1,000,000 coins or whatever." You know what I mean? And people think it's like worth so much, but like, yeah, I could have one Bitcoin. It's worth a lot more. So it gets confusing. But don't only buy a coin because it's cheap. That's all.
Yes. That's what I was trying to get to. Like, so this is a quote from. Well, I don't remember who the quote's originally from, but Jay-Z also said it in that song.
That's hilarious.
It's like all love, I think. Yeah, but yeah, so he said, you know the price of everything, but the value of nothing. So it's like the actual price of it doesn't matter. It's about like what is the value of it. You know what I mean? Because it's like you could buy something that's worth like 5 cents or whatever and get a bunch of these coins and think that you're gonna make money because maybe one day it'll get to $1. But it's like.
That's
like what is a value proposition?
Popular.
Yeah. Like what is a value proposition for it to even get to $1? And look, there are
How is the market cap 19? Is that 19 million or billion?
Billion. We're in the billions up there.
Wow.
And see, this is what I'm saying, right? Look, there are projects that are under this in terms of market cap, but it has a higher price. Like in terms of dollar amount. And that's what I'm saying. That doesn't matter. So it's not to say that you shouldn't invest in something just because like the price per share per coin is very large. Like it's only about the
A good
actual
example
value that
is
it's
YFI.
producing. Same thing when it comes to stocks too. But go ahead.
A good thing to compare it to is YFI. So this actually did hit a high of I think like 40 or 50. Let me see, $90,000 was the peak of this, right?
Oh my God.
So this has gone higher than Bitcoin. I mean, is it necessarily better than Bitcoin? No, it's just that this has so much less supply. I don't know where it is on here, but the amount of coins in the market for this is just absolutely.
It's a 36.
35,000 circulating supply. That's nothing. It's literally nothing. So, a coin like this will have an easier time of reaching a higher price, and it will. You know what I mean? And this is 110 in market cap, and it's worth $30,000 per coin, right? And obviously, Dogecoin is top 12, and it's 18 cents. So, it's a lot more than just market cap and price of the token. It gets confusing though, because at first, like, people look at Shiba Inu and be like, I get millions of coins for a couple dollars,
and
right?
if it gets to $1,
this goes to $1.
Like, do you know how much money it's gonna take to pump into that to get it to $1? Like, that's something that people aren't considering too.
I just don't even think it's possible. So I can't even tell you what that number is, but that's the circulating supply.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
You're looking at that, right?
Yeah.
And comparing to like YFI or something that has like 30,000 coins in the market or something small. It just doesn't make sense. Like it almost will never hit $1. It's almost impossible. That's what I want to say. People are like, oh, what if it's a cent? I don't even think it's going to hit a cent personally. But like, God knows what happens. But like, dude, the tokenomics are not meant for it to do that. It's a meme coin. It's meant to have a crap ton out there and to just, give you a crap load of tokens.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with going into it as a trade. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, cool. Like, let me make a couple dollars on this real quick. Like, you can make a lot of money.
A couple dollars on this real quick. Why'd you even waste your time trying to make a couple dollars?
No. Because I'm saying a couple dollars, but you can make big money. Like, Josh, bro. Josh has made money with some of these things. That's why I'm saying.
Meme coins.
Yeah, that's why you can't.
They're very risky, and you could throw in like $100, and it'll be 1,000 or more, like in a couple of weeks or a couple of days, whatever. You can get really lucky with those very low market cap coins.
Yeah,
luck.
This is up there though, but it's down 60% from the high. So you really got to be careful. This is a hype coin. This is a pure hype coin. This is a pure just like everyone buy it, everyone pile in and buy it, throw in a few dollars. You know what I mean? Because like we were explaining, people think that they'll get rich off a few bucks. Because they get a lot of coins.
Yeah, I just wanted to highlight the difference between because it's not to shame people for doing that, because like we said, like you can make a lot of money doing it, but just understand. This is a trade. Like, this is not an investment. Like, those are two completely different things.
You can get really lucky investing into these, but like, it's up to you if you want to risk your money that much, because these are high risk. Like, crypto's already risky. Then you go into these are really, really risky.
Yeah. So real quick, like, let's go into some of the use cases for like smart contract platforms, and then we'll go into like the Ethereum competitors. But like, for example, let's talk about DeFi real quick and like what you can actually do with it.
Okay. Let's go in Sushi Swap.
Hey, can we talk about Aave after?
Yeah, for sure.
Let's do it.
Lending protocols and things like that.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So Sushi Swap.
Or what? Let's say, what is DeFi in general first, right?
DeFi, just decentralized finance, right? And then what is decentralization? Just not a bank. No one's controlling it. You're not centralized. No one's watching all your transactions. You know what I mean? This is like, you're just like off the grid, I guess. It's just not controlled by people, really.
Yeah, there's no like kind of one entity like controlling it, like no CEO, like nothing like that.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Obviously,
and
you have the
people will vote.
Yeah, exactly. And there's some level of, how would you say it? Is it like a democracy? Can you say that?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Who knows how?
Yeah, but essentially,
it's like its own thing.
Yeah, it's like the people kind of own and control it, and like you're saying, like you can vote on certain things or whatever. Yeah. So it's more likely that like the creators are going to actually propose certain things, like, hey, like we should consider doing this. Like, how do the people feel about it? And then like you can kind of vote on it in that way.
Yeah, nothing really happens to these unless everyone votes on it. It's called a governance.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of. Governance.
Yep. And like, so basically, if there's a huge change or update, even Ethereum does it, I believe. Like, they've had people vote for a lot of these updates because they actually genuinely want people to, the overall majority, not just like a few people who have like a ton and want certain things to happen, you know? So it's just a lot more fair and it ends up working out a lot better. But anyways, this is a DeFi protocol. This is like a decentralized protocol where they don't like share all your information. They don't like send all of your like wallet, your IP address, things like that to anybody. You know what I mean? Like these are decentralized platforms where you can interact with cryptocurrency project and things like that.
Would you say that this would be
like
a decentralized version of like Coinbase and Gemini and things like that?
Well,
is it a
so
DEX?
Coinbase is an exchange. So this is not an exchange. This you could do almost anything on, but it's not just like basically how I think of an exchange is it's like a built-in wallet. Like it, you know what I mean? Like the Web3 wallet or the MetaMask is a separate thing from the like on this platform. You know what I mean? Like it's not like an exchange where I would buy a token and it would be all controlled under it. And also, obviously, Coinbase is like a centralized exchange, so I think it's called a CEX instead of like a decentralized a DEX or a swap. So on here, it's like you're swapping tokens. Like if I wanted to swap ETH for, like I was saying earlier, stable coins like USDC or whatever, that would go to my Web3 wallet, my decentralized wallet, to my MetaMask wallet or whatever wallet you use. And then you can control and interact with other protocols connecting your wallet to them. So right here at the top right, you see connect wallet, then you connect your MetaMask. And I'll just log into my wallet just so I could show you like what the protocols look like. Yeah, so like it'll show your balance. It has different layer. Like this is the list of the chains. So like you have Ethereum, you got Phantom, Binance Smart Chain. We won't go into all of them, but these are just all of the different like smart contract platforms and things like that. Arbitrum is the layer 2 that I was talking about earlier. It's really good. But yeah, so you can swap tokens on here. You have a pool where you could actually earn fees for pooling together liquidity. Providing liquidity is something I don't personally do, but you can actually make decent money doing it. Liquidity is just like the money on the like if you were to go sell a coin, right? Like that's the liquidity coming out of there. The money that comes out of the liquidity pool. So you can provide money to that pool and you can earn rewards from it. You can farm and you can earn different APRs right here. Like you see really high APRs because it's not like a bank gives you like less than 1%. They're obviously more risky and there's impermanent loss. So impermanent loss is when I own like this token, right? And it goes down in value. So I'm actually earning less than what it would be that I'm earning from this APR. So that would be impermanent loss. So there is those risks of like the token's value fluctuating heavily. But, you know, if you bought in early and you want to earn more on top of it, it's really not a bad thing to do. And a lot of people do farm. And the TVL is like the total value locked. So these lower liquidity pools, and like I said, liquidity is like the money that's in there, are way more risky. Like if you wanted to go into a pool with like, you know, like $80,000 in there, like do not put like 20K in there because then you own such a huge supply of the liquidity, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you could end up, you know, getting kind of screwed over with that. So you got to be careful with farming, but it can be a very, very good thing. And then it has lending protocols, which we'll talk about Aave, which is one of my favorites personally. So it lends your assets, you can earn a yield on it, and then you have no impermanent loss. So you can actually lend them a stable coin, which obviously is just the dollar on the blockchain, like I said, or you can lend them other crypto if you want, and then you can borrow money against it. And so you can do this all in SushiSwap, which is really cool. But then Aave is
also
the
like
popular.
The benefit of, and I think you had said it earlier. I don't know if we were recording at this time, but when you're using like lending protocols and stuff like that, like they're not checking your credit score, your income, or whatever. They're just making sure that like you actually have the bread to put up.
True, and that's a huge reason why it's so powerful. It's so powerful. As long as you just have that money and you could get a loan again, they don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're giving them money and they're using that to lend to other people, and then they have like a system going on, you know? Some people could consider that risky, but that there's
I feel like
really not been many issues.
That's how banks work, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like
that's
even,
another thing. Yeah,
like centralized financial institutions. Like, you deposit your money there. Well, I mean, you're gonna get a way lower interest, like APR and all that. But yeah, they're gonna go ahead and like lend your money out to other people for like mortgages.
Yeah, it's funny. I never knew that's how banks work for the longest time. Like, they don't tell you that. They're not gonna be like, hey, like if you put 10,000 in here, we're not gonna like have it right away. Like, we're gonna be lending it around and giving it to other people. Like, I was like, they're not gonna tell you that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's interesting, but yeah, like the crypto world definitely uses that in a lot of their protocols, and it works really, really well. My favorite is Luna, but we won't get into Luna's anchor protocol and stuff like that. But
we can.
They pay you 18% on your stable coins. So crazy. If you wanted to deposit a lot of money, it's a pretty safe way to farm. But anyways, yeah, this is the liquidity protocol. Love Aave. Aave's great. You could use any of these assets to borrow against that are listed here. The borrow APY is the amount that you're getting charged, and then they will actually pay you for borrowing with them. So, you know, yeah, you are paying a little bit of a fee, but you also are earning some Aave tokens on top of it, which is really cool. You know what I mean? And it's very powerful. Like he said, they don't check any of your scores and things like that. If you have 100K and you want to store that in here and borrow less against that and just take that out, it's a great system, and it's very, very, very powerful. You could do that to buy like a house or things like that if you do not want to sell your crypto, but you need USD.
Yeah, so I was actually watching a video. I was actually watching a video earlier today where people were talking about how they use their crypto to invest in real estate. So
incredibly great.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing. So they use stuff like Aave or whatever, where they'll deposit it there and then like take loans against it and then use that to buy real estate properties and then take the cash flow from the real estate to pay back the loan at Aave and all that.
Dude, it's so cool. I mean? Yeah. So like, you know, they're like, oh, I do not want to sell my Ethereum, but I need USD. You know what I mean? So I would have to sell it to get USD, right? No, you store those coins in this platform, and then you get your USD, and then you can do whatever the heck you want with it, as long as you pay back your loan, obviously. And the rates really aren't so bad where it's like, oh, I need to pay this back instantly. You know what I mean? So it's
and you can choose too. Like you have it on the screen right there. Like there's
the variable and
variable.
Stable. What is the difference between that? Either of you?
Between what?
The variable and the stable borrow APY.
I'm assuming that the stable borrow. I actually don't use Aave that much. I use Anchor Protocol, but
so a fixed interest rate.
I'm assuming this is because it's a stable coin, but I could be wrong. But the variable borrow APY, I'm not sure. I'm sure if it fluctuates, it doesn't fluctuate much because look, there's a chart right here.
We can't see this.
It fluctuates in between.
Yeah, it's showing like
you
loading.
Can't see this.
We can't see the screenshot.
It's showing like a loading thing, but like it's the same thing as is like when people would sometimes get like either a fixed rate mortgage, which is what most people have now,
or a variable.
Yeah, a variable. So it can potentially change over time. So the fixed one in these protocols, from what I've seen, like they're always significantly higher. Whereas the variable one, it at least starts out lower from what we've seen so far. Well, and that's like significantly lower.
But see, that does look good. But what is that giving you? Only a month worth of data. I just wonder how much, how far back that can go. But that would be an awesome. That's awesome. Except for the 11%.
Yeah,
that's not awesome.
This is just for the
well, depending on what the return that you're getting is.
That's true. That's so true.
He was saying that there is a protocol, or a stable coin that's giving you 18%. So if you're paying 11 or almost 12, but you're able to make
18%.
So
who cares?
You have that spread there.
So that 18% would be for just strictly leaving it in there and farming, not for borrowing.
Oh, okay.
But so the Anchor Protocol, there it is.
No, but what I was saying was you're earning the 18%, but you're paying the 11 over there to borrow.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. A lot of people do that, too.
Exactly.
Like people who have millions of dollars, it's so worth that extra return. If you have a lot of money, 18% is a huge number.
It's no interest.
And with crypto, 18% is nothing. Like a lot of these projects, like on an annual basis,
that's for stable coins. You know what I mean? So, like, if you want a low risk, like high return, you can't really beat that, right? I mean, a bank's giving you what, 0.0025%? It's like, geez. So yeah, the Anchor Protocol
just a
is
personal
on Luna.
story, real quick. about like why something like this is interesting to me, because like when I was going to apply for a mortgage and all that in 2020, like I could not get one, bro, and it made no sense to me. Well, I mean, it made sense to a certain extent, but I was still salty because I'm like, bro, I got all these reserves, you know what I mean? I got perfect credit and everything, and they were not willing to like lend me money because they didn't feel as though I made enough, which is annoying. Whereas I could use something like a lending protocol on like a DeFi platform, and they'll lend to me as long as I have the bread. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah. And another thing I want to touch on really quick before we stop talking about this is you can actually buy insurance on things like this.
Mm-hmm.
So if you did have lots of money and you were worried about it, it's crypto, whatever, it's risky. You can actually protect your deposits, and you can actually use these other protocols that are literally insurance protocols. So just wanted to point that out. It's really cool. Can you see my screen? Yeah, it says protect your deposit. You can buy from any of these and purchase plans to protect your investments, and it's actually really cool. So if you ever were worried about something like that, that protection is there. So yeah.
Think about this too, Joel, like going back to the interest rate thing. So, I mean, first of all, if you pick the variable one, it was only like basically 4%, right? 3 point something, whatever it was. But let's say, for example, you pick the stable one, right? And you're thinking, oh, that's like a huge interest rate that I'm paying or whatever. But let's say you go like do the burst strategy on a property.
That's exactly what I was
with
thinking.
The money that, you know what I mean? So it's like,
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Like what you're paying is only relative to the return that you're going to be getting once you use that money. So it's the same way as like when you take a loan against anything, like a loan against a property or your stock market portfolio or whatever. Like you should probably only be investing that somewhere. Like you shouldn't just be using it just for like anything that you want. Like,
some random stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you're going to be investing it and you're going to make a higher return than what you're paying, then it's most likely going to be worth it.
So you should use this for STR.
Potentially.
In New Hampshire.
Why not?
But yeah, the rates are different on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously it's a little bit more risky to get to borrow against like a moving asset, not a stable coin. But that's why like you have to pay more to use it on the stable coins. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they let you deposit something like Ethereum. How I was explaining, like, oh, I don't want to sell my ETH. You know what I mean? Like I want to keep this. I think this asset's going to beat the rate that I'm paying. It makes so much sense for you to pay that if you really need the USD, but you want to keep the crypto. So that's the best way to explain it. As long as your asset is beating the percent that you'd be paying for borrowing with it, why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah. And then, so, I mean, unless you have anything else you want to talk about when it comes to like DeFi stuff, if you want to get into some like Ethereum competitors and what is like the benefit of using them.
So I mean, we could talk about layer ones and stuff like that, like as just
like
smart
Solana.
Contract competitors. Yep. Yeah. So obviously, like how I was explaining the gas fees and stuff like that. The reason that I use other layer ones is mainly because the gas fees, and it's just so fast and seamless experience, and they also have like their own communities as well. So it's not just like, oh, I'm saving money on fees or whatever. But that's obviously a huge part. But there's all these like individual communities and things like that, like because all these projects have their own swap platforms, their own farming platforms. They all have like these developers and people who develop their entire life and put all of their time and effort into these and like building these communities. So Solana has one of the best communities. It's incredible. But the reason I use it, like I was explaining, is like I could go buy these NFTs and pay fractions of a penny to mint it and to buy them, and like at most I'm paying a few bucks, you know what I mean? So that's like the main reason why these other ones are doing so well, and they have so much volume on them. Even when Ethereum fixes the gas fees, like all these huge communities and all these people that have been built on these platforms, as long as those layer ones are still, like the technology still works and it lasts the test of time, I do still think that these will be somewhere in the top or still be utilized heavily. Because I get that question a lot, like what happens when Ethereum just doesn't have these high gas fees? Are Solana and BNB coin and all these other ones just going to die out? I personally don't think so, but only the best ones will stand the test of the time, because you're not going to really need so many different layer ones. But people want to make money and people want these smaller market cap or these new opportunities. And a lot of the time people will build new projects, like obviously that they're smart contract platforms or whatever. So people are building new projects on, like Luna or whatever, right? And people want to invest early. They want to make money. They want to get IDOs and all that stuff. So the top 10, top 50 coins will fluctuate heavily over the next couple of years. Even like last year, like a lot of these coins were not in the top market cap, for example. So
you said that ADA thing. Hold on, real quick.
Cardano.
ADA.
No, ADA. You said that was a layer 2.
Layer
No,
1.
Oh, it's layer
that's
1.
Layer 1. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I just said how they just finally got smart contracts.
Okay.
I think
which
when you
was
go
the
on
big news event.
Yeah, I think
I sold at $3. I got rid of mine.
I didn't sell mine. I was
sold
a little
mine.
too lazy. I didn't sell mine.
I don't know if I should have sold, but I definitely sold. But yeah, so like even when you're on, I mean, I don't know about CoinGecko, but I'm assuming I know for a fact CoinMarketCap, like you can actually filter it, so you can like click a little tab and it will show you like the smart contract platforms or whatever that you can invest in.
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, it doesn't do it as cleanly. Yeah, so you can go to like exchanges, indexes, the NFTs, all that stuff, and you can like make your portfolio and save the coins that you bought and watch all the prices and stuff.
Can you click where it says cryptocurrencies real quick?
Awesome. Yeah, just click it.
Yep.
Oh, it's working now. Okay, it wasn't working earlier. So yeah, you got DeFi, NFT, Metaverse, all that stuff. Then you could order it by, like he was saying, like the chain or whatever. So you got Polkadot, Binance Smart Chain, Solana, and all of these are products that are built on the chain. And like I was saying, like people love looking for investment opportunities because the gains in crypto are huge in the top market cap, but people want 10 to 20 times their investment. They do take bigger risks, but yeah, people are very interested in buying these lower market cap, high risk coins that are just projects that people believe in, obviously, like we were explaining and stuff like that get built on these chains. So
can you speak about?
View them.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, you can view them right here if you wanted to view any of these other coins by market cap, things like that are built on the chain.
Can you speak about Polkadot real quick?
So Polkadot is interesting. I think me and you were talking about it. I think it's a layer 0 or something like that. Like, I still don't understand. Like, I can't explain it to you, but I know it's different and it's very unique.
No, please try.
And
what is a layer 0?
No,
so
I don't know.
I will try a little bit.
Me and Noah were trying to figure this out.
Okay.
So basically, they're focused on this thing called like parachains. So I feel like this is kind of what Josh was talking about before, where like there are some people obviously that are like Ethereum maxis and all that, and they're like, yo, like this is the only one that's gonna make it, you know what I mean? Whereas
everyone else is dead.
Yeah, whereas other people are like, no, I think that we're gonna go into like more so a multi-chain universe. Like there's gonna be like multiple different like layer 1 smart contract platforms that people are gonna be able to utilize. And from my understanding, which like I said, it's just conceptual, I don't experientially like use it, but from my understanding, projects like Polkadot, for example, they're trying to work on ways where people can like almost be able to transact on like multiple different blockchains kind of together in a way. It's really, really complicated though. So I'm not going to try to...
Yeah, I think that's what Link does as well.
There's a couple of them
that
do it. I think
it helps it communicate between chains. But
yeah,
I really wouldn't want to slaughter the information. So
yep.
All I know is Polkadot's very unique and it's special, and just keep your eye on it because I do know that a lot of these projects getting built on it, they're going to be a big deal, and people are they're gonna be hype, because if they're different, people are going to care about them, and all good sentiment, like the market sentiment on Polkadot. People care about it. They like it. They're interested. The team's good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Definitely something to look out for is Polkadot for sure.
Can you show the DeFi Pulse Index real quick?
Yeah, for sure. I actually have not been on this website.
Oh, really?
What is the Pulse Index?
So this is essentially state, or if you want to explain it, Josh.
Oh, no, I was just
talking
out loud. You're good. I was just like, okay, so is the total USD value locked in DeFi overall? Is that what this is?
Yeah, in DeFi. So it's telling you basically like how much money is within like a lot of these DeFi protocols together. So that's what I'm saying. Like this is nothing to just like laugh about or act like it doesn't exist. Like that's a lot of money.
100 billion? Yeah.
And before it was actually over 100. It actually came down a little bit. There's another website that people use to find information like this. It's called like DeFi Llama.
I use DeFi Llama. Yeah.
So from what I've heard though, in terms of just understanding the total locked value or total value locked, whatever it is, I've heard that it like DeFi Llama might include things that maybe shouldn't be included within like the DeFi TVL. But I don't really know. So I typically just use the
I
DeFi
did hear that
Pulse
as well.
Index.
Like it might not be 100% accurate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Might overestimate or underestimate. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are a lot of people that use this type of stuff. And then also, can you show the second link I sent, the index coup one?
Oh, you sent me two?
I just sent this one recently.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just type it in because I don't have it on here. Index Coop like that?
I think so.
Indexcoop.com.
Yep. So, like how we talk about index funds in the stock market, like this is another way to kind of invest in index funds through, or like crypto index funds in a way. So if you want to scroll back up real quick. Oh yeah. So it's going to show you on there too. But if you scroll up, so like DeFi Pulse Index or whatever. Sorry, scroll back down a little bit. I wish I could like control it too, so I could tell you. All right, so just a little bit lower so we can see what it says there, like DeFi Pulse Index, Metaverse Index. Yep. So basically, you can invest in kind of index funds. Like if you don't want to try to like pick the winners, for example, in like the DeFi space, you can invest in index funds. Same thing with the Metaverse index and things like that. So they have like different financial products like that. Yeah. And then like, what is it? Bankless, for example, like that educational place. I don't know how you would say it, but like they have a podcast and a website and stuff like that that people subscribe to. They also have their own kind of like index fund. So they have the BED index. So BED, so it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and DeFi, and they kind of just like split it in thirds. So if you invest in their index, you're getting like all of that together. So that's just another way to kind of diversify in the space if you don't want to sit there and try to pick the winners
Do math.
yourself.
That sounds exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I have heard with the DeFi Pulse Index though that there are like newer DeFi protocols that are like not within the DeFi Pulse Index for whatever reason. So that's something that I don't fully understand, so I'm not going to speak on it.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
This website's really cool though, that you could organize by lending platforms.
Yeah,
and stuff.
right.
And then obviously you can see the overall lock value, which is like important because you want to, if you're borrowing money against it, you want to know your money's safe and it's in a big fund. It's not like
it has
a small liquidity pool. Yeah, exactly. Liquidity is very important. And I saw one of my friends get wrecked because he lost money to like not having enough liquidity, and he had to like, there's like a slippage that you put on it, right? When you try to sell it, and you could lose a ton of money to just slippage, which like, I don't know. It's like how much, I don't know how to explain slippage to be honest with you, but yeah. You can like lose more money than you should basically. Trying to sell with the liquidity if it's a small pool. Yeah.
I just sent you one more link real quick to go over before we close out.
L2 fees?
Yep.
I think I've been on this before, maybe.
Yeah, so this is kind of like
or
showing,
something similar. Okay, I've been on something similar, not this one though.
It's kind of showing you the difference in the fees when you're using like layer 1 Ethereum versus like.
Love Arbitrum. Arbitrum is so good, man. There's so many good projects being built on Arbitrum, like so many good NFTs, and oh, dude, it's great.
Yeah, so if you want to just like say it verbally real quick, because there's some people that are just going to listen to the podcast on Spotify or whatever, so they can actually see it. But just the difference in price between like Ethereum and Arbitrum, for example.
Yeah, so for Arbitrum 1, it says that a current cost to transfer Ethereum will be around $2, and on the regular network, it's $8. That doesn't sound like a huge difference, but it is, because when you're doing different things than just transferring, like if I wanted to send this to an exchange, that's the fee that they're referring to. That's like not really an issue at all, personally. Like the real issue is when you're minting.
I be feeling excited if I'm on like Coinbase and they're charging me like $2.99, bro. I'm like, golly, dude, what's going on?
I mean, you're talking to a guy who's paid like thousands in fees for like one mint on an NFT. So like, yeah, it gets pretty bad, to be honest. But yeah, to me, like this is important, obviously, but the big issue, I mean, the big difference will be when you're like minting or doing things where there's a lot of congestion. Like this is something simple, right? Like $8 versus $2. But when you're doing other things on the network, we're talking, $500 versus like $7 or $8. So yeah, that's when it really, really, really makes a big difference. So yeah, these layer 2s are very, very powerful. And obviously the other ones like ZK Sync, it's 46 cents versus $8. That's a big difference, So
yeah. But yeah, so I'm not sure if you have like anything else you want to share with the people or whatever, or just like some of your favorite crypto projects that you're looking into, especially for 2022.
Right. Let's do it. Yeah. So my two picks right now. Obviously, I'm not even going to talk about Luna. I'm just going to talk about Magic really quick because I feel like not many people know about it, but like it is being talked about a lot on the crypto Twitter, in the crypto verse or whatever. So Treasure is,
I like that.
If you know what OpenSea is, obviously like the NFT marketplace, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Treasure is trying to have their own marketplace. They're trying to be an OpenSea competitor, but right now it's only on the layer 2 of Arbitrum. So right here, they already have a working marketplace. They've already done pretty good volume on these. So everything that's being sold on it right now is in the Magic token, which was a fair launch token, which is actually pretty rare nowadays. Like a lot of things just aren't fairly launched. They sell it to VCs or huge investors. They sell huge token allocations to a lot of them. So this has really good tokenomics, has very good people running the project. And they are basically like a metaverse. They're going to be working on like a game and stuff like that. So these NFTs will be used like in their metaverse and in their games as well. But obviously they have the marketplace where you can interact and buy things on, which is very exciting. But other than that, like I was saying, so let's see, Magic token, blah, blah, blah.
I'm sorry, I have one more thing after
you can also mine on here. Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
You can also like mine your tokens on here as well. And it takes a lot of tokens like off of like exchanges and things like that, and it locks them up.
Mm-hmm.
Like overall, like the tokenomics are just amazing. And obviously anything with like NFTs and metaverse are huge and very hyped up right now. But so it's like a kind of like an early bet, but like I bet on communities and people. So I know for a fact that like if I interact with these people, like developers and the company and things like that, and like I get to know them, like I'm super comfortable and I believe in my investment and whatnot. So Magic is definitely something that you guys should be looking into because they have like these cute little like small brains and things like that. I got these for free. So they're huge catch that they do, or not catch, but like they help people get into it, is that everything that's on this marketplace right now is free. People got every single thing that's on here for completely free. So everything on this marketplace, these people got for free, right? They believe in letting the people decide on the price. They believe in, not advertising with these huge influencers and hyping up the price and letting them decide and things like that. They don't do that. They give every single NFT away for free and they build like these really good products. So the floor price on these are $3,400, which is kind of crazy. So I got 2 of these for free.
Wow.
So this is like, they have a little mint station, right? You've already claimed I got 2 monkeys for free. I got a piece of land for free, and I got an NFT car for free. And then they're going to give me a backpack. They're going to give me pets and then all these other things. And they have a lot of value because people realize what's going on now. I mean, $3,000 is not a little bit of cash. So
no.
There's also a breeding thing that you can do. There's the female and the male monkeys. So what's the cheapest male monkey, for example? It's probably like it's almost $5,000.
Okay, we gotta talk about this breeding thing.
What is the infatuation with monkeys and NFTs? I don't understand.
Bro, for real. They have too
and
much
we're just gonna
power,
skip over
dude.
the breeding part. Okay.
No. Nah, so that's not out.
Monkey.
That's not out yet. But basically, you need a male and a female to stake, and you will eventually.
I know, right?
Eventually,
I'm like, y'all aren't gonna get canceled for this. That's
I
crazy.
can see that.
So this is the land, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it on your screen.
Yep.
So I got two of these guys, and what happens when you stake them is that they earn IQ, and once they hit 300 IQ, they're gonna release a protocol that lets you stake these on I don't know where on their website though, somewhere, and you're gonna be able to earn the Magic token. So you're actually gonna be earning like economic value for staking these, but right now you're just earning like this IQ thing, right? So that his brain is growing. It's funny. They're called small brains, and like this dude's head is getting big right now. So he's almost like a smart monkey. So, yeah. And I got these for free though. Is what I'm saying. It's crazy that they're going for so much. It's crazy. You can see that almost 90% of the whole entire supply is staked, which is kind of insane. And then they have like this huge supply shock thing going. And then once breeding comes out, what's going to happen is that if you breed them together, I believe that they're going to burn the 2 monkeys. That might or might not happen. They haven't decided yet, but it's a very exciting little ecosystem that they're building. They are releasing tons of free stuff, and they're all worth like decent money, which is kind of insane. And they're all on their own decentralized marketplace, because this is a decentralized marketplace, obviously. And they've done almost 8 million volume, which is really good for a very small market. Very, very cool, very exciting. And so what else did you want me to explain? Did I miss anything else?
Before you ask your question, can I ask you a question, Josh?
Yeah.
What are your plans in 2022? Like, are you trying to get more NFTs? Like, how much are you planning to try to make off of NFTs and crypto? Have you not done that yet?
$1 billion.
A billion? Like, see, that could be
well, so
possible.
It kind of sucks because I've missed so many of these opportunities to like already hit
There's so much
the number
to
that
go.
I wanted to get to. I remember when we did the NFT podcast, so I was showing you guys how I bought like that mutant ape or whatever.
Yep.
Like I just told Noah about this in the group chat. You probably seen it.
I didn't see it.
Seen it, but
Yep.
So I sold mine a long time ago, and now they're worth just so much money, man.
Wait, how much?
So much money.
It's so much money, man.
Wait, how much? Let me know. Let me see how much it's worth.
Let me see.
I'm sorry, man.
Here it is. Nah, it's all good, bro. I'm just feeling the regret. This is actually my NFT. Holy crap! Yeah, this guy has it listed for.
Oh,
dude, and you.
Wait, how much did you buy it for?
You
Say it out loud.
See my name right here. You can see my name right
So you
here.
bought
right?
it? How much
What
did you sell it for?
I bought it for 5.
Yeah.
I sold it for 6. This was like months,
6
3 months
Ethereum.
ago.
6 Ethereum. What is Ethereum's price right now?
Like
4K?
4,000 or 3,800 right now.
Basically 4,000
right now. Yeah, so, you
And how
know,
much
with
is it
a lot of
selling?
money, I was nervous to hold. I knew it was a good hold, but, you know, it transacted, went back and forth a bunch, and now it is listed at $64,000.
That is incredible! Wow.
And that is the
That is
the
incredible.
floor.
I am
That is the
so
floor
sorry,
price,
man.
which means
that's
So that's
crazy.
40,000
Yeah.
just gone because you sold it for 6. You said, right?
6
Yeah,
Ethereum.
so-
40,000.
yeah.
It's not 44,000.
And this will sell because these are just continuously going up. And so this is like a rare one.
That's mine right there.
This is a rare one, right? And the floor
Oh
price
my God.
of the crappier ones is almost 11 ETH.
Yeah.
So I sold a wicked rare one for 6 ETH, and the floor for the oh my god, I don't even think about
But
it. So,
hindsight's 2020. You
insane.
didn't really know.
but well, I did, but I just didn't want to hold a like $24,000 NFT for like 4 or 5 months. So I was
No, I
like,
understand.
I don't want to
Well,
do
now
it, man.
you know.
So.
Now you know.
No, but that's why for me, like when
Well,
I go into it, I'm gonna be like, nah, I'm holding this. I'm holding
Forever.
it.
Nah, like it's not because
Forever, bro.
I knew, like I was so confident in the Bored Ape brand.
Mhm.
It's just that I didn't want to hold that much worth.
No, I definitely
And-
understand why you wouldn't, bro. Like that sounds crazy.
So the floor price on the original collection is 60 ETH.
That's
Bro.
unbelievable. I gotta do
Since-
some math real quick.
Since the last time
do
we
some math
talked,
real quick. Let the people know.
it's 229,000 for the cheapest one.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
unbelievable.
You can buy a whole house cash. You can
Yeah.
buy a whole house cash for this NFT. Yes, because that is how powerful
A
a brand
monkey
is. It's
wearing a
insane.
bra.
You know what I mean, though? Like, obviously, I'm upset about that, but this guy sold this NFT for under Ethereum 7 months ago, and now it's worth 250.
Less than
grand, so,
one
I mean,
Ethereum. Wait, when was
yeah,
that?
this guy. 7 months ago, this guy sold it
7
for
months
under
ago.
1 ETH.
See,
So
how could you
obviously,
know?
there's a lot of regret and pain in NFTs, but yeah, I'm feeling it too. This guy definitely feeling it more, but
No, but I feel
It's
that
insane.
like almost every time I make a trade, like even with like options, for example, right? Because I'm only
Yeah.
gonna buy like options contracts on companies that I know are like real hitters out here. You know what I mean? So
For
it's like
sure.
I'm doing this
Yeah.
trade, but it's like, dang, if I had just held that longer, I would have been.
no,
up.
I know. But and the thing about NFTs is like, it's just this one picture, right? And they're all different, they're all unique. Then you get like emotionally attached to it, or like, you know what I mean? You don't want to sell it for certain prices, and things move quick, and it's like, man, a couple months is the difference between like 200 grand, dude. It's insane,
Wait,
man.
but getting back to the
But-
question though, like, what are your plans for 2022? Like, how much do you want to make? Like, what are you about to do?
You know, I've already hit this number and then
Okay.
lost it.
Lost
Lost it.
Uh,
So
150?
yeah, I want to get back up to 150K. Yeah.
Okay, but when you get to that number, or is that your only goal for 2022? Just getting to
I mean, 2022. That is my goal to at least hit
150?
that again. Yeah.
Wait, how
Awesome.
far away?
Because-
is there like a huge gap? I don't know.
You have to be specific.
No, I mean it's not
He's
monumental,
like $10
but like
away.
the problem with a lot of my holdings.
Oh god.
Ooh, that hurt.
Yeah, I'm definitely needing that. Oh my god.
That was my
Oh my.
microphone.
Oh,
That's awkward.
That's okay.
My God, everything's falling.
I know.
Everything's falling. I was just trying to charge my
I was
laptop.
like-
Yeah, I was dying.
I was like, dang, was that it? And then I hear another thing falling. Oh man.
Wait, but not continue, Josh.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I mean, I'm not like it's not like super out of reach. Like I just need a couple more like 2, 3, 4 times or whatever.
Right.
But like I have a lot of risky things that I'm holding. So
Okay.
like, who knows? But I think I'm playing my cards right. I think Magic is gonna be my biggest bet right now.
Okay.
Like the whole ecosystem, the free mints, you know what I mean? Like things like that. So I probably have about 12,000 in these free NFTs that I've got, and maybe like 10,000-ish roughly.
Nice.
And then I only own about 12K worth of the Magic token. But if we keep dipping from here, man, I'm gonna buy a bunch. Like I need a lot of this. I really do think it's gonna do well. But that's the only token I want to talk about. Luna. I mean, come on, I've been telling everyone since $5, but no, a lot of people didn't want to hear it. But I hit $100. It's pretty insane. So
Yeah.
every dip I've been buying Luna, just like little bits, not like anything crazy.
Wait, do you think?
I've just been putting money?
You think I
into
should
it,
still
so.
buy, even though it's at 100? Do you think there's a room for a lot more growth?
Yeah. So I'm not like an expert on explaining tokenomics, but the way that Luna token
That's all I
works
needed.
is incredible. It has some of the best tokenomics on the market.
This man is about to buy it right now.
Absolutely.
It's
This is
my
my
God.
Cardano,
If it-
by the way. Look at that.
if
$100.
Terra dips more, I need to buy more. That's always my rule. I've been buying it since $5. Took profits on the way up, and then I stopped taking profits. I've just been buying and accumulating because I realized I think it's gonna hit $1,000. I really do. I do really think that it can 10 times from here over the next year and a half or two.
This is Luna you're talking about?
Yeah,
That's all
I know.
I
I
needed.
told everyone $500,
That's all I
but
needed.
I've recently bumped it up to 1,000. I really do think it'll hit 1,000
Dang.
eventually.
That's all
That's
I
just
needed.
my opinion. I plan on holding it till it's at least relatively close to that. I really do think so. Because how it works is it gets burned when the UST token's used, and the UST is a stable coin, and they're going to make that stable coin be on like every single chain. They're going to put it on, the ADA chain, the Binance chain. So you're going to be able to use this stable coin on literally any single exchange.
Mhm.
Chain. And it's going to be a lot of money swapping. A lot of money is going to be going into that token, and every time one is minted, it burns a portion of the Luna token. I don't remember the percentage, but yeah, the tokenomics are incredible. Basically, once it pumps super hard, it has a decent dip.
Well,
You can kind of tell that from the from how it'll pump really hard, and then it will come down a little bit, pump really hard, come down a little
That's
bit.
what I'm saying, Joe. I'm like, you can buy right now, and I mean, if you're gonna hold it for a significant period of time, then you're
Forever.
probably gonna
Yeah,
do well.
I'm
But
personally
yeah, if
still
you're gonna do it
buying-
forever, then whatever. But
Yeah,
the same episode
Crazy
where we
to
went
think
over
it's-
technical analysis, I'm like, you can use that as well. Like, you can use different
Yeah.
Oh,
indicators,
yep. 'Cause you
Fibonacci
said it was for
retracements, and all that.
everything. Yep.
If it has
That's
a chart,
awesome.
you can trade it.
it's incredible, man. Definitely looking at Luna. Huge ecosystem, a lot of money in there, a lot of great developers. It's amazing, but that's just Luna and Magic. Those are the two coins that I'm using and buying. I am not really messing with anything else as of right now.
Where do you buy Luna? What, like?
On big exchanges, I think Binance and KuCoin are the two biggest.
Finance.
It's not on
It's not Coinbase.
Coinbase,
It's not. Yeah.
but the UST token is. So I don't know.
It's on
why.
Gemini because that's where I own it.
There you go.
All right, I'll
Gemini's
go
cool.
Gemini just because I trust.
I mean, I should probably
Elon.
own more, but I own some.
Yeah, and
But
if
you
you
had a
ever
question
wanted
on
to
Noah,
see.
fam. Oh, my fault.
No, I didn't have. Well, I guess technically.
Was it about
starts off as a
NFTs?
question. No. So if we can go to CoinMarketCap real quick, because I'm like, I feel like, how do they say it? I would be remiss
Say
or
what?
whatever if I didn't say certain things.
The
Is
way
that how you
say
say
it
it?
is so funny, man.
What?
You said, how did they say it? The people, the regulars?
Yeah, like I don't remember. All right, whatever. Go to cryptocurrencies real quick at the top. So I'm gonna show them like just some very, very simple ways to do like their own research. So hit Bitcoin.
Oh, see, this is the chart I was looking for. This is the
Oh.
circulating supply of that line. See where it was like minted and it's like a gray bar and it. Yeah. So once that hits the end, that is all of them mined. That's what I was trying to point out earlier.
So you can
Sorry.
like scroll down, right? And then
Mhm.
keep scrolling down a little bit. So it will kind of show you like where it says what is a Bitcoin. So like what is Bitcoin? Hit read more. So you can go through and like read all this stuff, right? To kind of have more of an understanding of what it truly is. Sometimes there's actually like quite a few pages on there for you to do your own research.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, you can scroll up after. Yeah, see there's a lot that you can read through to get a better understanding. And where it says right there, like white paper, like all of these different crypto projects, like they should have a white paper. And that's going to be the same thing as what we talked about with stocks when it comes to like 10Ks kind of, well, not the same exact thing, but a similar thing. Like when it comes to 10Ks, like the annual report or whatever, where it's going to like actually break down, like, this is our company. Like, this is actually what we're trying to do and all that stuff. It goes into like kind of great depth about it. So people say that if you're going to invest into a crypto project, you should probably read their white paper so you truly have an understanding of like what is really going on here. Like, what are we trying to achieve and how are we going to go about it? Scroll up, please. And then scroll up again. So you can't do this with everything on CoinMarketCap, but can you hit holders?
Holders, where's that?
Right there.
On here?
Yep. So this is something that, like, if you guys remember when I was showing like Simply Wall Street and I was looking for like who are the biggest holders in here. So I was looking at like, oh, I want to make sure that like institutions are the biggest like holders of this coin. It's not the same exact thing, but it's just going to show you more so like you want to make sure that it's not like whales that are pumping this thing. You know what I mean? Like there's not one person where like if they just sell everything, it's a wrap. So are you going to show another way to do this?
You can keep talking. Yeah.
Okay. But I was going to see like, I was going to say like you can go on where you just were for holders real quick.
Okay.
And scroll down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to show you like even the top holder only owns like, what is it? 1.26%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So clearly there's not clearly, but it's more unlikely that there's just like one huge whale that just owns everything and can just dump everything and completely like tank it. You know what I mean? Like it's fairly spread out, which I mean, to be fair, like people can have multiple wallets. So it could be just like one person with like mad different wallets to hold all this technically. But it's a little bit more unlikely. It's something kind of like good to just check into, to see that. And then scroll up real quick. I'm not going to go too in depth, but you can even see, you don't have to click on it, but scroll up again to where you just were.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, there's like a delay that was confusing me.
Yep. So
okay, I get it now.
Yep. So if you hit news, it like tell you kind of like news updates or whatever on this project. If you hit white paper near the top, it will bring you to the white paper. And then also, can you hit community, like the drop down on community? So it's no. You have to go down a little bit. Yep, to the right. Up one more.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so let's take you to like the Reddit page and BitcoinTalk.org. I never went on that, but maybe I should. But it'll kind of like give you
I've
more.
never used these little links. It's actually super useful though.
Yeah. So it'll kind of give you access to like these different communities, which I feel like you're an important person to talk to about because you actually really engage with like the communities and like the different projects that you utilize. So can you just speak on it like real quick, like the importance of it?
Of just like the
being engaged
and interacting with them.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't feel comfortable buying things unless like I've, truly seen what the community is like. The market sentiment, if you guys know what that is, basically just like the overall feeling and like what's going on, like where things are heading, do a lot of people believe in this? Are there a lot of like, strong holders and things like that? You can't always go off that because, like, I'll just use Dogecoin as an example. Like, they're all diehard, like, oh my god, I love Dogecoin to the moon, blah, blah, blah. And, like, that's all, like, hype pump, whatever, dude. Like, yes, they have a very strong community, but you also have to be able to differentiate between just absolute hype and, like, pure, like, these people are here for the long term. Mm-hmm. This is not a pump and dump. This is, like, oh, they're actually interacting with people. They actually care. They have people volunteering, helping. Like, all that stuff is very good. And once you actually talk to like the developers themselves, you see that they're super active in Discord. I also join all their Discords and I interact with people on Twitter, you know what I mean? And like when they interact with the people who are using their products and things like that, it says a lot. A lot of these people just don't care. And then they get, if they get big and they still take time to like comment and like interact with people, like they're busy people. And the fact that they'll sit there and type with you and talk with you is, it means a lot to me, So a lot of these communities are just people, they feel welcomed, you know, they believe in the product. They're not going to just buy a crap ton and then sell it on the market as soon as there's like a 5 to 10% increase. Like they want to hold it for like a 3 to 4 to 5 times in value, or hold it long term and hold it through the ups and downs. And that's what really builds like a strong community. And when there's a lot of FUD, you know, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, people will dump, people will get scared. You know, crypto is a very emotional space. So being in these communities makes me comfortable in my investments. Yeah.
Exactly. Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna ask, like, how many people, like, I guess Bitcoin, for example, how many people do you think are active in the community versus how many people just hold Bitcoin in general?
That's a tough
'Cause
thing to make a statistic out of, because it's such a big coin, and like there's so many people that literally just buy it, don't know what the heck it is,
Yeah.
but somebody told them it was a good place to put their money, and they do, you know.
Because I'm thinking, like,
I don't know.
if a majority of people are active in the community and they're all holding, will the price really go up?
Well, the thing about Bitcoin is it's heavily manipulated
not
by
really
people who
Bitcoin.
have billions of dollars. So it's not just community sentiment that will determine where Bitcoin is
And
heading.
Bitcoin's
There's a lot
different
of-
too, because like they're not like, I mean, it's not to say that they're doing nothing, but it's kind of like a joke with like other projects in the sense where they're like, Bitcoin, it doesn't do anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it does this one thing. They're not really focused on doing like all of these major updates like very quickly or whatever. Like it's very kind of slow moving. But with other projects, it's like probably more important to really kind of be engaged in the communities, or at least like keeping up to date. Yeah, or at least keeping up to date with the news articles, so you understand like, oh, they had such and such upgrade, or they're going to be working on this. So you understand what's going on. And then real quick about the holders, like, so even instead of scrolling, like I had it over there where it says holder statistics. So it's showing you like the top 10 holders only own like 5%. Even the top 100
that's awesome.
only own 13.55%. So, yeah, that's just something else.
Yeah, and then if you wanted to look at Ethereum, you could do the same thing on here. I just wanted to show really quick that, like, so right here where it says Explorers, you could view every single one of those wallets and literally look at what those wallets are holding as well, which is kind of cool. So, like, right down here where it's showing, like, the addresses and stuff, like, if I wanted to look at Ethereum coins and see, like, those top wallets or whatever, like, you would go on Etherscan, which you could obviously find right there on the website that we were on. But yeah, I'll just use wrapped ETH as an example.
But yeah, so like blockchain
layout
is a very public ledger. So that's why we're saying like you can see everything.
Correct.
Like if you have their wallet address, like you can see exactly like what they've been.
So this right here is a smart contract platform. So you'd be like, oh my god, this guy holds 27%. No, it shows it right here. It's Maker, the smart contract platform, whatever. This is not like an individual's wallet like me or you would have. Like all of these contracts or whatever. So that's important to know. But yeah, you could literally like go into any of these wallets and click on them, and you can literally view the coins that that person is holding and things like that. It's very public, like you said. So yeah, you can't really hide anything. It's all on the chain.
Yeah, I mean, you can only hide it by, for example, just having like hella wallets or whatever. And it might be kind of hard to keep track of.
But then you can track that.
You can still track it. It's just harder. Like you're just making it a little bit more difficult. But it's all public information. So
absolutely, no, 100%. But yeah, a blockchain, all the information's on there.
Word. All right, Joel, you got any more questions, bro?
No, I think that's it, Josh. You are filled with knowledge. I appreciate that.
Facts, bro.
Pause.
I just
you didn't have to pause that.
No, I felt weird for some reason. I said
crazy,
filled.
bro.
The word filled for some reason. I just don't like it.
I was out of pocket.
I just don't like the word filled. That's just me. I just don't like the word.
But you can't tell another man that
it's
he
just the word
has knowledge,
filled,
bro.
It's just
like,
filled. The filled. The
like what kind of world
word.
have we come to, bro? This is crazy.
Sauce world, very sauce.
Facts. But no, actually though, Josh, thank you very much. You want to plug yourself one more time? NubDubCrypto.
NubDubCrypto on Twitter, yes sir.
Yes,
right
sir.
on Twitter.
Oh yeah,
if you
let's go
guys
right
are
to
in crypto, I don't know.
There we go with the
know,
NFT on the yes sir.
See, look, Luna do 1,000. Y'all know.
Hey.
You know. Yes sir. And you guys profit taking. When you are so excited about your trade that you take a screenshot and send it to your buddy, that is probably when you should sell.
No, that's low key facts. So. At least put in a stop loss. Stop loss is my best friend.
Yeah. No, I love that quote. Yeah, NubDubCrypto, baby.
Also,
if you're buying crypto, you got to interact with people on Twitter, man. I'm telling y'all, guys.
Wait, you have the Shiba Inu NFT in your? Wow. So
no, this is the magic. This is the small verse.
No. I'm talking about that little @ underneath your name.
This right here?
I can't see it.
Yeah.
You
So
plugged
that's an NFT.
Oh,
No,
okay.
that's an NFT that I bought. So basically, like it's called name tags, and you can see it on Twitter. It's sort of like ENS, but it's like a Twitter thing. It's hard to.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah. That's all right.
Yeah.
This is
I'll have to have you come. Yeah,
Yeah, it's cool, though.
It looks cool. All right. Okay, thank you very
All
much,
right.
Josh.
Hey, it's a pleasure,
I
boys.
don't think I have
Yes, sir.
anything else to say, but we'll see you back here.
Well, we'll save that
At
for the
some point.
Patreon.
There we go. We'll save it for the Patreon.
Yeah.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. Have a good holiday, or whatever time this gets posted.
Wow.
Yeah. Having a good New Year, boys.
All right. Bye bye.